October 18, 2021, a North Korean prisoner made a daring escape from a jail in Jilin Province, China. He scaled the prison's high walls, dodged the electric fence in full view of everyone, and disappeared into the darkness of the night. Welcome to Red Eastern True Crime. If you enjoy this story, please subscribe to my channel. Let's dive into this story. Zhu Xianjian, born in October 1982, came from a peasant family in North Korea. He had two sisters and a younger brother. At the age of 18 in 2000, Zhu joined the North Korean military, where he underwent 4 years of military training. During his time in the military, he had enough food to eat and also managed to send some money back to help his parents. In 2004, one of Zhu's married sisters successfully escaped from North Korea and reached South Korea with her entire family. Defection is considered a serious crime in North Korea, similar to treason, and it had serious consequences for Zhu's entire family. Zhu, who was still in the military at the time, was arrested. After a lengthy investigation, the authorities found no evidence of his involvement in any wrongdoing. However, they sent him to work in a coal mine for labor reform, with no set release date. This meant that he had to work more than 10 hours a day in difficult conditions, sometimes without enough food. This endless life left him without hope. This way of life continued for 9 years. Then, on July 20, 2013, Zhu saw an opportunity and made a daring escape from the coal mine. He ran for several hours until he reached the banks of the Tumen River. On the other side of the river is China. In winter, the river would freeze and people could walk to the other side in a few minutes, but the guards were very strict. But in July, during the hottest part of the summer, the river had a strong current and the guards were less vigilant. So in the middle of the night, Zhu swam for more than 10 minutes to reach the other side, and arrived in the land of Jilin Province, China. During the night, Zhu walked for several hours and reached a small town in Tumen River City. Exhausted and hungry, he had no choice but to drink water from the river and sleep outdoors. In the early hours of July 2nd, driven by extreme hunger, Zhu quietly entered the home of a local villager and stole an Oppo smartphone, a wallet, and a pair of sneakers, with a total value of about $60. At 10 a.m., Zhu broke into the second villager's house, but to his surprise, the homeowner was present. A struggle ensued, and Zhu ended up stabbing the homeowner in the back with a knife, causing serious injuries. He fled the scene with a bag containing approximately $230 in cash and various identification documents. 2 hours later, Zhu entered the home of a third villager and stole 6 packs of cigarettes, t-shirts, shorts, a towel, socks, a wallet, a folding knife, and 2 cans of beer, valued about $10. He tried to escape, but the police arrived and arrested him. Zhu's escape from a North Korean coal mine to China lasted only 2 days before he was arrested by Chinese police. On March 25, 2014, the court found Zhu guilty of several crimes, including illegal border crossing, robbery, and theft. He was sentenced to 11 years and 3 months in prison and a fine of about $2,400. After serving his sentence, he would be deported. His release date was originally set for October 21, 2024. While in prison, Zhu's good behavior resulted in 2 sentence reductions, moving his release date up to August 21, 2023. With only 1 year and 10 months left on his sentence, Zhu attempted another escape. On October 18, 2021, at 6 p.m., after finishing a day's work, Zhu entered a warehouse and obtained a thick rope. It's worth noting that he had no shoe on his right foot. A group of prison guards noticed Zhu's action and immediately shouted at him to stop. They gave chase, but right in front of everyone, Zhu quickly climbed from an iron gate to a roof above it. Once on the roof, he wrapped the rope around the electric fence and pulled hard, causing sparks to fly as he damaged the electric fence. He then climbed over the wall. On the other side, surveillance footage captured Zhu landing, rolling for a few moments, and lying still for more than 10 seconds before finally getting back on his feet. He made a dash for a small street and disappeared into the darkness. Surprisingly, no police officers were able to catch up with him during this time. On the day of Zhu's escape, authorities in Jilin province, China, initially offered a reward of 100,000 RMB for information. They then increased the reward to 200,000 RMB, followed by 500,000 RMB, and a month later, it reached 700,000 RMB, which is about $110,000. They also made it clear that people who knew something but didn't report it or helped the fugitive would face legal consequences. There were speculations that Zhu might have tried to flee to Mongolia, but by November, the northern regions of China were already in the grip of winter, with freezing temperatures and heavy snowfall. Moving south to Southeast Asian countries would be even more difficult, especially given Zhu's limited Mandarin language skills, which could easily expose him. After Zhu's escape, the police conducted several extensive searches in nearby villages and the surrounding forests, but found no significant clues. People quickly provided tips to the police, and a villager who looked remarkably like Zhu was reported several times. Over the course of 3 days, the police arrested this man 5 times, only to later confirm that he was an ordinary Chinese villager and not the escaped prisoner. On November 16th, a local villager found his missing fishing boat and oars near a place called Heixiazgou. A few days later, another villager noticed signs of activity near a roadside culvert in the same area. On November 27th, an elderly woman who was taking care of the mountain in Heixiazgou discovered that her clothes, a razor, and other belongings had been stolen. She reported finding a cigarette butt to the police, who confirmed through DNA analysis that it belonged to Zhu. This information led the police to focus their search on the Songhua Lake area. The next day, police commandeered 5 fishing boats from local fishermen and deployed more than 100 officers to surround Zhu. Despite the overwhelming police presence, Zhu tried to flee into the mountains. During the pursuit, an armed police officer shot him in the leg. Several other officers rushed in to arrest him and then took him to the hospital. At the time of his capture, Zhu was extremely emaciated. Zhu was recaptured 41 days after his initial escape. Throughout their efforts to capture him, police frequently noticed signs of Zhu's presence and made several attempts to surround the nearby mountains. However, they always seemed to be one step behind. This led the authorities to believe that Zhu had headed south, unaware that he had been hiding nearby all along. Zhu's last hiding place was the Songhua Lake Scenic Area, a place that bustling with tourists in the summer, but nearly deserted in the winter. In a mountain shelter, authorities found items left behind by Zhu, including eyeglasses, shoe covers, a razor, a flashlight, a headlamp, binoculars, a pocket knife, cigarette butts, a makeshift stove, and instant noodles, among other items. So far, there is no online news about Zhu's trial. However, it's certain that he will not only receive a longer prison sentence, but will also have his 2 previous sentence reductions taken away. There is a YouTube video featuring an elderly man who claims to be the owner of the fishing boat that Zhu stole. He provided information to help police catch Zhu. In the video, the YouTuber asked him if he had received the reward money, and the old man became very upset, stating that he hadn't received a single cent. He mentioned that he didn't expect the full $110,000 reward. Even $5,000 would be good, but no one paid any attention to him. He even filed complaints and reports, but no one responded. The old man was furious that they had called him several times when Zhu was still on the run, but no one called him even once after they called Zhu. He later expressed his frustration by saying that the world is unfair. The true fairness comes only in death. North Korea shares a 1,400 kilometers land border with northeastern China. Escaping from North Korea to China is more likely to succeed than reaching South Korea or Russia. Chinese government considers North Korean defectors illegal border crossers, not refugees, and has the legal authority to detain and report them. On Weibo, which is the China's version of Twitter, some people shared what they knew and have seen. One person said, "A classmate's mother in elementary school was a North Korean defector. Unfortunately, she didn't survive after being caught and sent back, and my classmate was put in an orphanage." Another person said, "One of my relatives once hired a North Korean nanny. When her true identity was discovered, North Korean officials came to their house, right in front of the homeowner. They used a large iron rod to break the nanny's shoulder blade before taking her away." This person talked about a North Korean restaurant in their area with very beautiful North Korean waitresses. The Chinese manager of the restaurant liked one of the waitresses and tried to pursue her for a long time. However, the waitress couldn't accept his advances because she was afraid that if she ever went back to North Korea and was not a virgin, she could face execution. This person shared a childhood memory from near the North Korean border. He accompanied his uncle, a local militia member, and witnessed a disturbing scene on a bridge connecting China and North Korea. Two North Korean soldiers were escorting a male defector to the center of the bridge, which was North Korean territory. On the bridge, the North Korean soldiers broke the defector's kneecap with the butt of their rifles, hooked his shoulder blades with an iron hook, and dragged him off the bridge. A gunshot was then heard. The person mentioned that some police officers were reluctant to arrest the North Korean defectors, and only did so when they had no other choice. Some officers became depressed, while others confronted the North Korean soldiers. That's today's story. Please share your thoughts and opinions in the comments section. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to my channel.